Hello everyone, I'm Batpan, a bat who uses pan to cook and poison his enemies. In this series of videos, we'll find out about the way of creating the functions I wanted for my game and answer any questions I personally had while I was, looking for answers. In this video, we'll see how we can create an event trigger, like something happened when we're in a specific location. And one more thing, sorry for my voice, I'm sick, and as I know I would get worse in the following days. I recorded this video today, so I can upload it tomorrow. Sorry for talking too much, and without wasting time, let's start the video. So to actually create an event trigger, we need a collider. So how can we make a collider? I personally use a cube collider for my event triggers. To create a cube, you can click on the plus here, or you can actually right click here and go to your 3D object and add a cube. So we're looking this way, so we put it here so we can see it. I put it here. You can place it anywhere you want. I'm gonna put it here for the sake of the tutorial. I'm gonna make it like this, big enough so we can actually go inside it. I'm gonna make it visible for now because we want to be able to see where we're going. In the camera properties, we go to box collider. If it is closed, you press on this little triangle, it will open this up. You go here, you search for its trigger option, and you click this trigger. So it let us go inside this cube. Now we need a script. I'm going to create a script. I'm going to name it cube collider event trigger. We open it up. We actually need to add using unity.ui because I'm going to add a text file here. So we add using unity engine.ui, so we can add a UI in here, and then it's the text. We go down here. We first delete all these two because we don't actually need them here. The thing we need for when we go inside the cube, we need to check that. So to check that, we actually gonna say void on trigger enter. This is gonna check for when we're inside the trigger, inside the cube, and for when we're exiting the cube or trigger, we're gonna say void on trigger exit. It's gonna make it private, so don't actually touch that. I'm not sure what it's gonna do. This is for when we enter, and this is for when we exit. So I'm gonna say here, we say enter, and then here we say exit. What do we want to do when we're inside the cube? I'm gonna say, for example, show a text file. Yeah, that's logical. So we say public text. I want to say subtext. The naming of my text file is always the same in my videos. I don't find better name for my text files. When we enter this, we're gonna say subtext the text equal to. We're gonna say we are in the cube. To actually make it stop, make it not repeat itself over and over again, you need a boolean. I might call it in the cube. Which is equal to false by the start. Then we go here, we say if in the cube is equal to false. Then we go in the cube and we do this. When we did this, we then in the cube is equal to true. So we want do it again. It's gonna just do it once. It's gonna get in here. It's gonna change the value. It's gonna make the in the cube true, so it doesn't loop itself. So let's actually test this out. When we're here, we need to go to our cube. We give our script to our cube, and it needs a text file, so we can actually create a text file very fast. I create a canvas, UI canvas. Make a scale with screen size 1920 by 1080. Make it 0.5. Then I give it a UI text. So this is our text file. We go to our cube. We give it the text file. We can drag and drop it here, or you can actually press this circle key here and select your text. As you can see, it says we're in the cube. Now we want to check if we're not in the cube. When we go out of the cube, the text disappears. So to do that, we go here. We gotta check if in the cube is equal to true. So when we're in the cube and we get out of the cube, we're gonna say in the cube is equal to false. So we're not in the cube. Then we're gonna say subtext the text equal to empty. As we see, it says we're in the cube. When we go out, it disappears. When we go in again, it says we're in the cube. We go out, it disappears. So this is a simple event trigger. I made it with a cube collider. If you want to actually, not see the cube, you can go to your cube. You can uncheck this mesh render. As you guys see, it will work again. When we go forward, we say we're in the cube. And you go out, it says you're not in the cube. So actually, I'm going to create an animation. So when we go on the cube, another cube actually comes out of the ground and, moves upward slowly. So to do that, we activate our mesh render so we know where our cube is. We can duplicate our cube, where we can actually make a new cube. We scale it like this. We make it bigger. So, half of it is in the ground. We make it completely in the ground. I'm going to give it a blue color. So I create a material. I'm going to give it a blue color. And I give the material to my cube. So it is actually blue. I want to, move this cube whenever I'm in the cube collider. To actually do that, we need to create an animation for this. To create an animation for this cube, we click on the cube. You go to our animation tab. If you don't have it, you can go your window. You can add your animation. Put it here. We create an animation for it. I'm gonna say created animations. I have one here. I delete all these animations as I don't need them. It was for my previous video. I'm gonna call it cube idle. It is an animation with the cube not moving. So we say add key here, and we go to its rotation. We say add key here. So we add a key for position and add a key for rotation. And we duplicate it and put it here. So it loops. We need another animation too for the cube coming up like this. So we click on the cube idle here. We click on the create new clip. We go here. We say cube move. I'm gonna call it cube move. Then we press on this red circle. We add a key for its position and rotation. And I go for around 2 seconds and make it like this. You have to press the red button so it actually records your movement. As you guys see, it is gonna move like this. And it's gonna loop. So to make it not loop, you go to your animator. You can go here, create an animation if you have it here, or you can actually go to your cube with the animation on it. You click on the cube here, animation controller. It actually goes to your cube. Cube idle, we want to loop. For the cube move, we don't want it to loop, so we uncheck the loop time. We go here, we need a reference to this animator. So we say public animator. I'm gonna name it anim. We need to give it an animation. So we find our animator, we double click on it so it opens here. Idle is our idle animation. To actually go from idle to our move animation, you're gonna right click here, make a transition to it. Then click on the parameters, you click on this plus. I'm gonna add an integer, I'm gonna name it C. And go to your link here, click on this, add on this plus, uncheck this has exit time. Then says if C is equal to 1. So when C is equal to 1, it moves from idle to cube move. When we're in the code, we're gonna say anim.set integer. The integer we give it its name is a capital C. Capital is important. Then we give it 1. So it's gonna make the anim.set integer 1. So when we go in the cube, it says we're in the cube, and the animation is gonna work. It needs an animator. We can drag and drop our cube here, so it takes its animator. As you can see, we go in the cube. The animation actually moves. Or you can actually create something else for when you go out of the cube. I actually go to my cube. I actually need another animation. I'm gonna say cube back. So it goes backward. I actually go to my cube move. I go to its last keyframe. I copy this keyframe. When you want to copy, you press Ctrl C. So it copies your animation. You go to your cube back, you paste it here. So it is gonna start from your cube move animations ending. So you make it here, and you go to your cube move, you copy the first one, you go to your cube back, you paste it like right around 2 here. So you paste it here, so it is actually gonna go back down. So to actually create that, it's again loopable, so make it unloopable. As you can see, we have a new animation, so we make a transition from cube move to cube back. So when it goes forward, it goes backward again. You disable the has exit time, you go to your C, we say if C equals 2. So if C equals 2, go to your back animation, and you make a transition from cube back to cube move, actually 2. So when you go inside again, it actually moves to cube going up animation. So when we go to our cube back, we need an integer of 2. When we go to our cube move, we need an integer of 1. So in here, we can actually copy this and paste it here. We give it 2. And that's it. It's gonna actually move. It goes upward. I get out, it goes backward. There's also a bug I'm gonna show you guys. If you go inside, then we go outside, as you guys see, it moves fast and then it goes down. You see, it's here, it goes down, and yeah. To fix that, you go to your animator, you go to your transition, you click on has exit time. So you know it finishes the animation, then it goes to your animation. So see, when you go out, it goes up, then it goes down. You go here, it goes up, then it goes, down. So this was how you can create an event trigger with a simple cube. I did it with a cube. You can do it with whatever you want. So I'm gonna go think about something for the end of the video, as I did in my previous videos. So this is what I created for the end of the video. I hope you guys like it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.